mean, Riley Cooper, I mean, like, that dude deserves a statue. I mean, like,
number one on your speed dial.
Hey, I'll tell you what, like, I mean, I didn't know until a couple days after the fact. I was like, wait a minute, is he the MVP or like we got the alternative team?
No doubt about it.
And then Ty Floyd, when I sure got 17, I like stole it from him. But I was like, when has a pitcher like been a part of like 5 of the 6 wins in Omaha? I mean, what a performance!
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time. Yes, sir.
Sorry I'm a little late, boys. At the spring game, obviously, as you can see. A couple of booze cruises here to do. Let's fit. Cruise. Grand salami to the boys. Finally back on track. And I got another one coming. Don't you think I don't? And that's how we roll in Tiger Stadium.
Just watching the spring games that were on television, one thing that jumped out about your squad is your quarterback room is very talented compared to a lot of the league and a lot of the country. I wonder, is it easier to recruit that position when you have talent or when you don't have talent? Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Clearing up, answering the question, and I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast, no matter where we at, we live. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right. Nice start.
Big day.
Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time. Welcome in. Thursday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live here this Thursday morning. Our show brought to you and built by RMB Builders, live from our Click Here digital campus. Good Thursday morning to you. Appreciate you starting your day off here with us. Make sure to hit the like button, share button, comment button. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure and do so. Also, want to remind you about what's going on New Orleans.football. Our friends over at New Orleans.football, make sure and get over to New Orleans.football and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Starting next week, we will be live on their channel from 7 to 9 a.m. This channel will still be live on posting highlights from the show and clips from the show that you get throughout the day. But as far as this programming, the live programming between 7 and 9 a.m., we will be on New Orleans.football's YouTube channel. beginning next week, so make sure you find them. Got some emails yesterday of people asking for links. If you need to email me, you can, Jordy at jordyculotta.show.com, and I will send you the link directly if you can't find it. But if you can get over to neworleans.football and search them and subscribe to the channel, you won't be able to you won't have to break your routine come next week if we're a part of your day. And as always, we appreciate being a part of your day. All right, so we're going to talk to Billy Embody coming up here at 7:30 this morning. We're going to talk to Fletcher Mackel coming up at 8 a.m. We'll get in touch with Billy about what's happening in recruiting. Huge story. This is an enormous story, I think, that could be brewing with LSU over in the bowl here, and one to definitely watch. Freshman tackle, 5-star out of Neville, who's logged some meaningful snaps and including an SEC start this season, in Lance Hurd, is not with the team. There is no information on why Hurd is not with the team, but the speculation is out and running rampant here. We will talk about that coming up. We'll ask Billy Embody on what he has heard there and what the latest could be. Obviously, this is something that we will be talking and monitoring throughout the next couple of days, and of LSU being back. And I'd imagine this is something that Brian Kelly will be asked about when he meets with the press again here in bowl preparation. So that is the story of the day, as LSU is over in Tampa getting ready for Wisconsin coming up on Monday. But it's a huge story that we will be talking about here on the show. Also, obviously, as they're getting ready for Wisconsin, Brian Kelly was speaking a little bit yesterday to the media. We'll tell you what he had to say. Obviously, Garrett Nussmeier is getting prepared to make his first start at LSU, which is pretty crazy to say, being how long he has been on campus. But we will talk about what it's going to take for him to make his first start and how he can make an impact coming up here versus Wisconsin as well. Lloyd is here on this Thursday show. We've also got Stewie in house.
Take notes, Lance Hurd. Come to work.
Live here on this Wednesday, Thursday.
Can't just not show up to work.
Not show up, dog.
Bowl games last night. Jacoby Matthews not with Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
That I'm okay with.
Yeah, I'm good.
Maybe LSU can get back into the.
Oh God! Don't tell Billy Lucci this.
Oh no,
he
I
might.
don't know what's going on with Bill.
I mean,
Him and Sherman Wilson. Like, you don't want to pick that fight, do you?
I mean, LSU fans were this scorned after we lost all our players in the portal, or lost all our players to whatever else happened.
Yeah, when recruiting happened, it was just, of course, A&M became like the actual. This is how NIL is going to work, and then when it didn't work, what do you think? There's going to be a little bit of war of attrition, and Lucci is just still fighting that fight,
fighting the good
and
fight.
And Sherm is just, punching down at this point.
Yeah, right. It's like,
wait, did you see the picture that he posted of him and BK on FaceTime or somebody?
Yeah, like, guess who's on the phone?
Yeah, and
Lucci's like, Michigan.
And he's like, no, 8-4.
Yeah. I hope it's Lance Hurd.
I mean, yeah, right.
Or Jacoby Matthews.
Bryce Underwood.
All of them.
But what do you think the deal is with Hurd? You haven't heard anything?
I'm not, I've heard a little bit, but nothing to the point where you want to get on here and say, but I deep down, I feel like it's worst case scenario. I feel like it's like
poaching season.
Yeah, like somebody's tampering with him, like somebody's messing with him. You know, like somebody's in his ear.
Sam Pittman's on that phone.
I mean,
was Sam Pittman the O-line coach at Georgia?
He was the O-line coach at Georgia before he got the Arkansas job.
Okay.
And he's sticking around, huh? He's still Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, he's their guy. But I mean,
I would think somebody
Arkansas just cut a huge check to their collective for the NIL for players. Yeah. I know that. I know that Arkansas is in the game. I'm not saying that Arkansas is the school,
right?
No, I was just saying Sam Pittman because he coached O-line at Georgia. Yeah. I would think like schools like that would be reaching out to Lance Hurd.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think.
If he wants to be a left tackle, there's a school that has a left tackle available. I would imagine somewhere that's a blue chip school.
I don't think it's the position. I really don't. And I mean, like, you can get drafted playing anywhere as long as you show that you can play.
Right.
Well,
Collins played guard at LSU. He was the tackle.
Exactly. I mean, the the projection of where you are on the offensive line does not necessarily mean exactly where you play, right? I mean, Emory Jones may be a left tackle in the NFL.
He might be very well.
I mean, like he's got the capability to do that if they need him to do it. I think ideally they'd like him to play inside, but in the NFL you only travel a certain amount of guys. It's not like at LSU where you got 10 offensive linemen on the sideline. You know,
we got 7 of y'all.
I mean, you got 6 of these guys, and one of them has to be able to play multiple positions.
Yep.
I mean, they call him kind of like the swing guy. So, I mean, look, people that are saying grades on Hurd, it is tough for me to believe
in the year of our Lord
in anymore in college football, the way that the paradigm has shifted on what really is the priority. And I know that they're still in school, but at this point, they're more football players than they are students. And a guy like Hurd being ruled ineligible due to grades is just, it's very hard to do. I mean, it would be very difficult to become ineligible in this day and war, this day and time of college football. I mean, it just that's just the truth of it. I mean, I hate to say this out loud, and I mean, kids, if you're listening, you got to get your degree and you got to go to school. But if you're a big time football player, it really don't matter. I mean, like, I mean, it's just that's what the priority has become on campuses, in the league, in the sport. And I would be shocked if it was grades.
Well, just because if you get to that, right, and if you're LSU and you how do you even let that happen? How would it ever get to that point? It seems like you have a pretty ironclad plan of, hey, you have to go to class if whatever the bare minimum of whatever is required. It feels like LSU has got that pretty much figured out, right?
Yeah. And if he was academically ineligible, wouldn't LSU have to make a statement about that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there's some types of privacy policies that exist on that stuff. And I mean, this is the danger of speculating.
Yeah.
None of this could be true.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
concrete evidence.
He could be dealing with a family issue.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
his grandma could be sick or something.
Who knows? But I mean, if you're LSU, that's why you put out a statement, so you can just kill the speculation, right? Of people and why they're speculating.
Because LSU
Chili says Kelly is big on school, so I can believe it. He's big on school to the public, in the living room. It's a great message and platform to stand on. Graduate champions, right? Well, I mean, if you're just graduating people, you're not going to be a champion. And the first priority of graduating champions is find championship football players. Lance Hurd is a championship caliber football player. If he's not going to class, there's ways to make sure that he's got his grades so he's eligible for the bowl. Yeah, it's just the truth of it. I mean,
because you would like to have seen him play, right? This would have been a great opportunity to get him in there.
Perfect game to play.
He is. Before this was announced, I mean, it feels like he was slotted in to be in one of those 5 spots next year, and it feels like the closer you get to the bowl game, the more that you're starting to hear some young guys are going to get some run, and it feels like Lance Hurd was going to be in that number. So, I don't think that's just, like I said, that's weird. We don't know anything yet, but it's hard to imagine it being grades.
Brian, maybe people shouldn't speculate until something concrete comes out. Yeah, Brian, that's what this show is. Again, we've gone over this numerous times. If you can't deal with those types of storylines and conversations, this ain't the spot. You know what I mean? This is a talking head show that gives their opinion. So we're gonna do that until something comes out that gives confirmation of what a big time player is not doing at the bowl. So
LSU put out some video yesterday.
Easy.
It was bowl prep. Saw a little Kylan Jackson interception. So
all those guys.
Yeah,
I mean, now is the time. Now is the time for those guys in this game, in this setting. They had the tracker on
that Shea put out.
On 3 of the Bengal Tiger. of the true freshmen and how many games each has logged and the possibility of seeing them. And I mean, the list is.
They've all played pretty much.
I mean, you'll be able to see, like, I mean, Shelton Sampson, Kyle Parker, Jalen Brown, and Kai Preon have all played 3 games. Trey Holly's played 2 games. Ricky Collins obviously has played a game. DJ Chester, Tyree Adams, Paul Mubanga, the offensive lineman. Chester's the only one that's played his 4 games. Tyree Adams played a game. Mubanga didn't log any games this season. Jackson Howard is a name that came on and started to play late in the season. Kylan Jackson, who Stewie had mentioned, is a guy that started to play a little bit later in the year as well. Christian Brathwaite is a linebacker that logged some reps in the middle of the year. Dylan Carpenter is a guy off the edge. Obviously, we've seen guys like Deshaun Womack. So there is a bunch of faces and a bunch of stories from that freshman class. Obviously, Lance Hurd is another one of that that crew.
And he played in every game, but all of the rest of the names that you mentioned are all going to be able to collect a red shirt.
Right.
Because none of this game doesn't count against your total number of games played against a red shirt. So all of those guys that you listed are all available to red shirt and come back next year with literally their clock hasn't started yet. But
besides, I think Deshaun Womack.
Yeah, Womack played in every game.
And Whit Weeks.
Yep. Had to have him.
Yeah.
Then had to shut him down.
I mean, that linebacker room is gonna be
overnight.
Overnight
it'll go from very limited numbers to at least very deep. The experience won't be there.
Mm-mm.
I mean, obviously you'll have Perkins. Yeah. You'll have hopefully Greg Penn. Penn said he's coming back.
He's coming back.
Yep. You got Greg Penn in that room, which is huge from an experience standpoint. And then you got a lot of newcomers. You got a lot of new people and fresh faces in that room that, I mean, they can all play.
I love Greg Penn coming back.
Yeah, me too.
Just because of like what he's been through at LSU, and like what he's seen at LSU, and how things haven't gone how he probably imagined it going, coming to a team that had just won a national championship. Because wasn't he class of 2020?
Penn was the class. He's a 4-year redshirt junior.
Yeah, so he's
I mean, it's his 4th year.
Yeah, so he's class of 2020. So he came in right after a national championship, thinking like probably he was gonna either repeat a national championship or get close to it, and they went 6-6 or
his freshman year is 5-5.
Yeah, so they go 6-6 his freshman year, and then last year they have a decent. They win 10 games, and then this year they have another chance to win 10 games. But you come back next year and it's a 12-team playoff.
And it felt like he went through kind of the ringer a little bit, right, where he was in and out of the lineup a little bit. And it felt like he finally got established as it's almost. He's not Damone Clark. I'm not saying he's that same caliber of player, but it's like that same type of career arc where it's going. Okay.
Up and down.
I think he was a number 10 inside linebacker whenever he was being recruited out of high school. So obviously the talent's there, and you start to see him come on at the end of the year, especially the defense that was struggling.
Putrid.
Yeah.
Because was he on the field for the Florida State game? Like that's where they were
trying to. Not a lot.
He played like sparingly. It was
right because that was the Harold Perkins experiment.
That game should be
bury the tape.
They should study that as like.
What not to do?
What to never do again.
I mean,
I'm sure they'll try to work something out for the first game of the year against USC as well. We just saw their quarterback there for 6 touchdowns in a bowl game.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Caleb Williams to argue that he's not a system quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
he's been bogarting Lincoln Riley this entire time.
I'm telling you, the more Caleb Williams is in front of I thought last night was not the best look for him. The way he walks around, like with his jersey around his neck. I mean, like, I know that stuff's kind of old school, but I'm looking at it from you got to understand how these NFL owners, general managers are looking at this thing like this is a major investment. This is someone who's going to be the face, the model, the front man of the franchise. And the more and more Williams is in the spotlight and in front of it, the more look, I'm sure that there's somebody that he fits for. You know, I mean, I don't think that he gets out of the top 3, top 4.
It just seems like a weird dude.
But at the time, like if I'm making him the number 1 pick, and for as far and away as he was like the number one pick for so long.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't. Like, I mean, I know he throws the ball and has this incredible ability to spin it, but so did Jamarcus.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I can sit here and give you guys, I can sit here and give you a list of guys that has talent. Like, I mean, like the fact that he can just, you know, scramble out of the pocket and flick his wrist 65 yards and the ball's, you know, in a seed somewhere. I see the talent. I mean, I get that. But some of the other things you see, you're like, it's a franchise quarterback? Like, run the whole thing for you? Be out front? Be the guy?
I was about to say, be the alpha in the locker room.
You know what I mean? Like, you can kind of see it with Mahomes right now.
Yeah.
It's the first time Mahomes has had to be like a true get-in-your-face
leader.
Fellas, we have to have it type leader, and you can see people are kind of like, this is kind of awkward. You know, like, how do I mean, 3 weeks in a row, he's slammed his helmet, he's hitting his thigh pad, I mean, he's, you know, like, I don't know if Caleb Williams cares that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean.
And then they had a clip last week of Mahomes, like, he got upset with the coaching staff because they wouldn't call a play. And they had to call a timeout, and the camera pans to him, and he's like, call the fucking play.
Call the effing play. Like, yeah, like, he's getting frustrated. I mean, like, you can see it. And I think Jaden Daniels does that stuff and understands that incredibly well at this point. Like, to me, you almost want a little bit of curiosity with your quarterback, at least going into this process. You know, like, learning to get to know him. Like, does he compete? Does he? And from what I have seen from Caleb Williams, that would not be my guy. I mean, like, I don't understand how people look at that.
I guess technically he was like celebrating his boy.
Yeah, he was.
Like,
he was being a good teammate.
Yeah,
and I don't want to be overly critical.
Yeah.
I mean, not last night was like the deciding factor. It was just another like,
Yeah, well, the more you see of him, the more it's like he's putting more in like the negative column than the positive column. I can imagine it's not. It becomes more. It's not really ever about football with Caleb Williams, and it should be. Jaden Daniels, it's only about football. You don't know, even as he goes on a Heisman tour, you don't really know anything about him. Like, I don't. Yeah. Do you know anything about like Jaden Daniels? Like, you found out about even Burrow, who's like fiercely private. You still got something out of him, like whether it be the Heisman speech or.
But it's Burrow. Something that I can learn when I go and like meet Burrow. Like, you know, like the Ogeron story on Burrow's class. It's like you meet him for the first time and you're like, he doesn't talk. He doesn't really look at you.
He's studying.
You're wondering, like, man, is he in it? Does he want to be? And then you turn on the film and you're like,
I've already watched this.
Oh my God.
He's a serial killer.
I mean, like, we've sat here for 6 hours and he ran the whole deal, you know, and you're like, I don't know from outside looking in, I don't feel like Caleb Williams could do that. I don't feel like Caleb Williams could run a whiteboard room with film for 5 hours and get down and dirty on some football.
I guess we'll see.
You know what I mean? Like,
we'll see in a few months.
Well, that system offense.
I mean, I just kind of I mean, I just know to look at this guy, and if he goes there, I throw it there, and then if not, I just kind of roll to the right and I just throw it deep.
Scramble drill.
Well, that was the knock on Mahomes coming in. It was. He didn't know how to identify the mic because of the offense he was in for his entire college career.
The Mike Leach offense?
Yeah, it was
Texas Tech.
It was Texas Tech. Kingsbury.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
still
same tree. So whatever he got into, it's like, I'm learning football. That's why he didn't come in. He obviously got drafted early, but it was Alex Smith was teaching him.
Cover 3.
This is how NFL football works. Like, we're not thrown to a spot. You know, like if he's here, throw it there. It is totally different. And to Mahomes' credit, he obviously soaked it up.
Well, Mahomes went to a great situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got time.
Great coach. You had a mentor in Alex Smith. You had time to sit. You know, I mean, it was.
They were still good.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the Chiefs was.
Situation matters.
Exactly.
I mean, like the situation matters.
And the Bears situation is not a situation I would want to go to as a young quarterback.
Especially if they're not able to move fields. Talk about awkward.
Yeah.
Where I just saw, especially if you're Caleb Williams, like I just saw them ruin your career because when I saw Justin Fields at Ohio State, that man could throw the pill.
And you're starting the last couple of weeks. He hadn't looked that bad.
No, he hadn't looked
You know
bad
what I
at
mean?
all.
Like you're kind of like, is it him or is it the franchise?
I mean, I would think it's the franchise.
It's probably a little bit more of the franchise than it is the player.
Yeah.
I think
No, this would be the second that they would get rid of their head coach again.
Eberflus.
Yeah, this is his first year.
Is this his first year?
Yeah. And they already, I mean, obviously they already run him.
Who was their coach last year?
Was it Nagy?
Yeah. Jim? Was it
Matt
Matt Nagy, then they went to Matt Eberflus.
And now he's in Kansas City. And see, like I think that, you know, it's a great test case for Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
Who was the offensive coordinator for Kansas City for so long, who's now with Washington. And I don't think that it's coincidental that the production of that Kansas City offense has fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it says something for Bieniemy, who has become this kind of like quasi, you know, let him be our black head coach candidate that we
Yeah, the
interview.
re-roll.
You know,
Toss
I
out
think
there,
the
jingle
Saints
out
like
there.
spent like a day and a half with him. You know, like brought him down to New Orleans, which is just like this dog and pony show.
Yeah.
We have to do this.
Put him in front of the cameras. When, you know, like you step away from it, you're like, hey man, okay, now's the, like, he deserves a chance now. Like, I mean, like you take him away from Kansas City's offense and they look like that.
Yeah.
And then you plug him into Washington's offense, and you know they got a bunch of, you know, for a lot of scrubs up there, and I mean he's producing. I think, you know, like
I think he's going to be their head coach.
They just benched their quarterback too.
Yeah, they brought in
Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They benched Sam Howell
Who's the
for
backup?
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett,
Wow.
who's been
The journeyman.
the journeyman. Still scared of Tyrann Mathieu, terrified.
Why is he scared of Tyrann Mathieu?
That's when they put Tyrann at corner at LSU.
Oh,
Jacoby Brissett
damn.
was the quarterback for Florida.
That's right.
Long time ago.
That man.
Andre Dubose.
Uh-huh. The one that got away.
Mm.
Supposed to go to LSU.
That's right. He was the wide receiver.
He was 5-star. Was all the way to LSU until signing day. One of those.
He was.
Mm.
He returned. He
Then
returned a kickoff
and
against LSU.
he did
That's
his
right.
freshman year.
That's right.
You know how that goes.
I was cursing that man's name. But then you got Bieniemy. I think he'll probably get his shot in Washington. Ron Rivera is a dead man walking.
Oh my goodness.
He's
Yeah.
actively trying to lose football
did
games.
you see him and Mike McDaniel's
Yeah.
exchange? Like he's like, I love what you're doing over there. It's like Mike McDaniel's like, yeah, I get it. Like,
Cool,
You
Ron.
need a job next year, Ron.
Yeah, Rod, you are retired
I'll think about you. Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by Go Roof, online at Go Roof, GEAUX, roof.com. Get in touch with our boys over there and let them hop up on the roof for you today. If you got a roofing problem, they can diagnose it, 225-927-8300. A beautiful roof every single time. Remember, you get that 2-year free workmanship guarantee with all new roof installations. You can call today, roofing contractors with competitive pricing, free quotes, and those free inspections that we're talking about, 225-927-8300. You can count on our friends at Go Roof for roof repair, roof installation, and roof maintenance. You should choose Go Roof because they've been around for over 15 years. You can get free quotes today. They're licensed and insured. This is residential, commercial, roofing repairs. They can handle all of it. Online, GEAUXroof.com, GEAUXroof.com to get in touch with our friends over at Go Roof. We'll come back and talk to Billy Embody, latest in recruiting, what his thoughts are on Lance Hurd not making the trip. Stick around. 30 minutes from now, Fletcher Mackel will be in from New Orleans, from Fox 8 over in New Orleans. We'll get the latest on from Fletcher in Saints, Pelicans. Get caught up on everything. Tulane they had drummed.
They got pummeled.
I mean,
in a monsoon
last night.
Was that Fletcher Mackel with Mora on the sidelines?
Yes,
I thought so. Because Fletcher was like,
absolutely.
He said, "What?
Let him go.
Yeah,
Let
it
him
was.
go.
It was the perfect. He's like, I thought you were done.
Fletcher
Are
was
you done?"
perfect. He was perfect for that.
Well, that's if you've talked to Fletcher, Fletcher's usually the one doing the ranting. So
Oh,
he's
no
like,
doubt.
all right, I know.
damn it, man.
Yeah. Give me the floor.
All right, Billy Embody next.
Spend the summer stacking bread, my big to November. Pulling up like Trey Young just to freeze up December. I got niggas on the blood like traditional sinners. OGs love me, so I hang with traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge up. Had to focus on my business, I'm coming.
If you're in the market for a mortgage lender, you need to start with Doug Bickley and his team. Bickley has built a crew with over 50 years of combined lending experience. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they love helping their clients achieve the American dream of home ownership. They're also key with working in real estate agents and helping their clients getting same-day pre-approval. They average about one buyer a day getting them in a home. If you want to get in touch with Doug and his crew, it's easy. Call them 225-214-5154. 225-214-5154. Go see the Bickley team today. They're located on the corner of Coursey Boulevard and Sherwood Forest right here in Baton Rouge.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on.
Did you do it?
Hold on. Did you do it?
Roof's up.
Hold on.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Head health is incredibly important for our student athletes. One of the best ways we're trying to address concussions is on the front end. We're trying to prevent these before they happen. And a big part of that is speaking to the athletes, letting them know what to expect. Okay, speaking to the parents, what to look out for, talking to the coaches so they know the vital importance. Some of the big things we're looking for with a concussion, which is, a traumatic brain injury, is one, was there a mechanism? Was there an injury that took place that could lead to this? Often a direct blow to the head, a head-to-head hit. If someone's showing signs of concussion, our first step is always to remove them from activity, get them to a place where there's less stimuli, where we can really just sit down and get a feel for the athlete, what they're feeling. We're looking for headache, we're looking for dizziness, any sign that coordination is off, that something's just not right. Get a good evaluation of them to understand what's going on. It's not worth the risk that may be there to kind of ignore it, because there are very serious consequences if we don't treat a concussion properly.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Daniel Newman can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started today by calling Daniel Newman at 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Let's be strong. Let's spell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay, Gordon, ready to talk a little bit about yourself today? Okay, good. Tell us, who is Gordon McCurdy?
Great question. In a lot of ways, I'm just like most people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I am a brother. I'm a Christian. I am a Tigers fan. I am a Louisiana sportsman. But above all, I am grateful to the people of Louisiana. We want to be your lawyers for life.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. Correct. Personal injury. done. Workers comp, done. Truck wrecks, done. Keep going and get it done. Keep going and get it done.
Offensive player of the game from LSU, Joe Burrow.
Football is life, man. Football is Joe Burrow.
Back smarter, heat up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the quarter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up.
All right, let's jump right into it. Billy Embody from 0-3 and the Bengal Tiger, as good as he gets in following recruiting. Make sure you hit them up. Billy squeezing us in this morning. He's dropping the pets off. He's got family coming in.
Honeydews?
Sounds like honeydews. First one as wifey is pregnant here for Christmas. So hopefully, Bill, we won't get in the way, and we appreciate you scratching out a little bit of time for us. Merry Christmas.
Well, you're welcome.
Merry Christmas, guys. Battening down the hatches. The in-laws are coming in.
Yeah, right, Bill. Let me know if you need a room. All right, let's start here. Lance Hurd, Billy, a 5-star tackle, does not make the trip to LSU with LSU to Tampa. Huge story. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I actually got the chance to talk to Lance for a couple minutes yesterday. Gave him a call and checked in with him and kind of got a feel for where he's at. He's kind of in this limbo, I guess, is what I gathered from him. I didn't press him too much on what was actually going on, but he said he was all good, but contemplating his future. There's a possibility for a return to LSU. There's a possibility that he enters the portal. So we don't have clarity on what's going on with him, but he's not with the team. It's a big story. He's a 5-star from Louisiana who did play in every game this year. He got one start this season. I think there could be multiple things going on. There could be grades. It could be wanting more playing time. It could be wanting NIL. It could be all sorts of things in today's day and age of college football. But if you're LSU, I would assume you want to try and convince him to stay and stick it out and figure out whatever it is that is going on. But LSU does return Will Campbell, Emory Jones. They signed another elite offensive line class. So as much as I love Lance Hurd, the guy, and certainly an incredible talent, LSU is just stockpiling talent here. So either way this plays out, this is a position group that you almost, at this stage with Brian Kelly and Brad Davis, you don't worry about it in a weird way, which is such a big change from where we were a few years ago.
Great work, Billy. Billy Embody from 1-3 and the Bengal Tiger. That's the type of work you get when you follow those guys. And make sure and subscribe right now. They have great rates here in between the signing days of December and February. Billy was able to track down Lance Hurd and get that little piece of information yesterday. Billy, can you talk to me a little bit more about this time of the schedule, how it works? How much is, and I'm not saying that this is happening with Hurd, but it seems like it's happening in college football. Is this the time when everybody is tampering? I mean, is this where people are reaching out and saying, hey, don't play in the bowl game? Maybe look at us?
Yeah, I mean, it is as a whole, it's year round. I mean, it really is. I mean, part of the reason why you see a lot of college coaches wanting to either try their hand at the NFL or go back to the NFL is you have somebody else dealing with this. And I mean, you can't tamper with anyone in the NFL legally, and you just coach the guys you got. But this is something that all college teams have to deal with, the tampering. I would say, for a guy like Lance Hurd, if he was being tampered with, it kind of makes sense that, whatever school it is on the other side wouldn't want him to play in the bowl game. But it is kind of a year-round thing, and you're just, I mean, if you are tampering, you're kind of hoping to get them, there's two schools of thought. There's tampering all year round, and then you get them early when they hit the portal and things like that. They don't take other visits and they just commit. Or, you kind of sneak it in here at the tail end of this portal window, which does end, I think the date, and I'm probably wrong on this, but I think January 4th or 5th is the last date to enter the portal, and then you can be recruited from there. So as these later bowl games especially, the more impressive schools as the bowl games go along, whether it be a player that's not getting much playing time but wants to get one more opportunity to put film out there and then enters the portal and then it can be recruited. And there's actually it's a dead period right now, but January 3rd through 7th, there's an open period where schools can host. I think it's a quiet period, so I don't think coaches could go out. I could be wrong, but you can host transfers who are coming in at the mid-year for official visits. So you'll probably see, especially with the multi-year transfer rule changing again, you'll see more and more guys enter the portal. We saw it with Deuce Chestnut. He got in. He's going to try his, try to find a new home for the rest of his career, and that's because of the multi-year transfer window that has been granted. But yeah, it's kind of a year-round babysitting. It'll happen again after the spring. But yeah, if you're a school that does tamper, or you have people that tamper for you, you're kind of wanting, especially a high-profile guy like Lance Hurd, you're kind of wanting to sneak him in probably towards the tail end of the portal window, and then that doesn't give as much time for other schools to contact and try to change it, and you can just get them on board. And the one thing that I'll note too is when you do recruit transfers, you can sign them, but you got to have them sit in a classroom for it to matter. I mean, you basically sign them so you can talk about them. So there's lots of maneuvering behind the scenes that goes on across college football, but it's just that system that's now in place.
Bill, you followed a lot of these guys since they've been freshmen, sophomores in high school. Is there anybody coming up on Monday from LSU standpoint that you're looking forward to seeing play and have an opportunity with the eligibility rule and the opportunity to play some of these guys without burning a red shirt? Obviously, Hurd would have been in that mix, but now that he's out of it, is there anybody that stands out?
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how they just approach this game from an overall playing time perspective for some of the young guys. Brian Kelly does talk about how the bowl game is a big opportunity for these younger players to get more playing time, to get those extra reps in practice. That's something that's really important. I'd love to see a guy like Deshaun Womack get more time. I'd love to see him get more opportunities, weeks on defense, and just overall guys on defense. This is a defense that hasn't played well at all this year, and you can kind of just throw the whole record book out for one game and play as many guys as you want and leave it all out there and see if guys can build momentum for themselves for the spring. So I would point to the defense for the most part. I'd also like to see some younger receivers get opportunities. If you're looking at this from the perspective, if you're Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, you're playing in the game, you also want to be pretty careful just overall. So maybe it's an opportunity for a Jaylen Brown, a Shelton Sampson, Kyle Parker, guys like that to get some more taste of action ahead of the spring and break in. And maybe, who knows, somebody on the offensive line gets a break. The good thing is it's not a game in September in Tampa. It's at least in December, so you're not too much worried about guys getting worn out, but they have been off for a little while, so maybe we see some rotation on the offensive line. If you're LSU, just leave it all out there and rotate guys and just try to play loose and have fun.
Great story on the Bengal Tiger right now at on3.com/Bengal Tiger, and Ethan Callaway, the 4-star offensive tackle out of North Carolina, who was representing LSU at the U.S. Army All-American game in Frisco, Texas last week. Billy, any storylines pop from there that had you paying attention to? LSU was well represented over in Texas.
Yeah, Ethan Callaway is really a guy we're high on at On3, and he's a big body that's pretty ready to go for the most part physically, and he actually, just kind of the way the rotation works with these All-Star games, he came in a few series into the game and immediately had to come in cold off the bench and face Danny Okoye, who's a top 100 prospect. He signed with Oklahoma, and Danny ate his lunch the first game or the first play, but Ethan bounced back and was able to lock him up a few times, which I thought was impressive. And Ethan kind of talked about it in that story. This was a good opportunity for him to get a taste of some of the competition that he's going to face at the next level, because it is such a jump up from where he was at Lake Norman in North Carolina, and he played to be facing guys for a week or so in practice. It just gives you an opportunity to just learn a lot about your strengths and weaknesses, and I think that's what he got. He roomed with Colin Hurley, the quarterback signee for LSU, who in the first half his team was all out of sorts. They had protection issues, they had miscommunications, there were some missed passes. But in the second half, he threw 5 touchdowns, tried to rally his team. It was just kind of defense optional for his team in that one, so they couldn't get a stop. But he threw 5 touchdowns, was really impressive in the second half, which I thought showed a lot about his mental makeup and just how he battles through adversity. And so both are enrolling early at LSU and left good impressions for the most part in their final high school showcase.
Bill, last week on the coaching front, LSU's offensive coordinator Mike Denbrock accepted the same role at Notre Dame in a couple of weeks. In fact, next week, the number 1 quarterback in the country for the 25 cycle is set to commit. LSU has been atop of the board for Bryce Underwood. How much did the news of Denbrock moving to South Bend shake that up?
Yeah, we actually spoke with Bryce's trainer yesterday on 3 Did, and we asked him point blank if he felt like Mike Denbrock's departure would impact LSU, and he said no, not at all. He feels like, with Brian Kelly and Joe Sloan, those are the big pieces that he's really watched with LSU, as well as the supporting cast that they're assembling, and specifically in his 2025 class. LSU does lose Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, and guys like that, off this team, but they're replenishing it with the number 1 receiver in the country and Decorian Moore in his cycle. They're the favorite for Harlan Berry, who's supposed to announce his decision, I think, January 3rd at the Under Armour game, and LSU sits in a good spot there. So the supporting cast was the other piece for Bryce Underwood, at least from his trainer. And Alabama and Michigan are the 2 schools that it seems like LSU's battling. They've kept it pretty close to the vest. They haven't named a public leader, but all signs do point to LSU and still point to LSU in that one, which would be just historic if they just get it across the finish line.
One on the recruit here, Bill, before we get you out of here. Jabari Antoine, the defensive back out of South Louisiana.
Yeah, Jabari Antoine is one of the top overall defensive backs. I think he can play corner. I think he can play safety. He dropped his top 8. LSU was included in that, and Lamar Brown dropped his top schools too. 2026 number 1 offensive lineman, top prospect in Louisiana, one of them in that highly touted 2026 class. Both those guys included LSU in their top schools, which is good to see if you're an LSU fan. But for LSU with Antoine specifically, they're battling Texas probably the most right now. Texas signed Derek Williams. LSU signed Demarion Johnson. But those are the 2 schools that have the most buzz around Antoine right now. But he is a heck of a defensive back prospect. He'd be a guy that I think physically could probably play early.
Bill, best of luck this weekend hosting the In-Laws. We will be reading the work online at on3.com at the Bengal Tiger.
Cranking out articles.
That's right. Make sure and be following Billy at Billy Embody.
It's work.
I got to go back upstairs. I got to write an article. Bill, have a great weekend. Happy New Year.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Happy New Year.
All right, there he is, Billy Embody, checking in. Great information there from Billy, who got Lance Hurd on the phone.
Got him on the ringer.
Got him on the horn.
How about that, Bill?
Babe, I'm working.
I love it. In-laws are coming in. Lance,
answer my phone call, please.
Lance, look, man. You ain't got to tell me what's going on. I just need you to hold me on the line here for about 45 minutes.
Hell, you want to come over?
Where are the fish biting up in Monroe?
Where you at?
What do you get at Johnny's Pizza? Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by our friends over at Katie's Restaurant in New Orleans, katie'sinmidcity.com. Getting over to the city today. Can't wait to stop in and see my friend Scott Craig and the crew. Always getting down there. Great service, great people, cold beer. Brand new TVs up front, upstairs. 6 new TVs installed. New hours on Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is playoff time, playoff push time in the NFL. So if you're looking for a place to post up and watch football, check out Katie's in Mid-City, katie'sinmidcity.com. And, of course, their sister restaurant, Francesca's, which is a sandwich deli over in Lakeview. All right.
Might catch a local celebrity there.
Maybe.
that whoever that guy that called in to hold the Mayo.
Oh, that's right.
He's watching the game somewhere. Blows my mind.
That guy is going to be in the dome.
Oh, you're right.
Like that's
even if it's an away
sitting
game.
in front of Mickey Lucas asleep.
Like, hey, Money Mickey,
Money Mickey,
groupie, I can't see you.
But that guy, he'll never give him up.
No,
like he'll never give up.
That was an addict.
What makes the groupie thing so funny is that he went to Notre Dame.
No way. He's a Brian Polian recruit.
The Brian Polian special is Blake.
Is that him dick to dick? Is that his profile picture?
What?
The Polian picture, and is that him holding him by the tweet that he has pinned? Where it's like it's about more than coaching sometimes, and it looks like they're. I mean, he is.
Is it him?
I hope this isn't Blake Groupie, but
remember when Polian used to get on the hash marks with his sunglasses and run up and down the sideline and look like he was doing something, and he wasn't talking to anybody. Nobody was paying attention
with
to
the
him,
gold hat on,
and he was just bouncing around like.
God, yeah, like somebody.
He was ready to play, coach.
I mean, I'll never forget the opening play of the Tennessee game.
Oh,
they've got to kind of pull him off the field.
He's running.
He's pumping the crowd up. He's looking at the sideline, getting everybody ready. Nobody's even paying attention to opening kickoff in a game. Special teams.
They're about to sky kick this
goes
thing
through
right.
Jack Mesh's hands. Looks like Jordan standing out there. I mean, fumble, touchdown, down. I mean, before anybody
Coach,
sat in their seats.
Me and Ron sat down, and this man fumbled, and Ron was like, "You ready to go?"
Yeah.
I saw Lloyd. Lloyd was walking in late. He was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm out." He was like, "What happened?" I was like, "Special teams screwed it up. They're about to get rolled." He was like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah." He's like,
"First play of the game."
I was like, "Are you going in?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm going in." I was like, "We're not." I was like, "We're Kelly. We're bailing.
I'm out, dog.
We're bailing."
I could hear the stadium, and I was like,
I'm telling you.
You can hear the
We never sat down. We never sat down. We walked up into.
Funny.
We were in the club section. We walked in. It stood at the glass. They kicked it off. Fumbled 2 plays later. Hooker hits a guy in the touchdown. I look at her. I was like, "I'll leave."
Yeah.
She was like, "I don't want to stay."
You never.
I'm like, "Let's roll." I mean, we were
Lloyd, no clue yet. We were going in there
out.
Tennessee game.
Lloyd's like, "Go Tigers!" I'm like, "It's over, bro." Polian screwed it up for everybody.
It's 14 nothing. I'm like, game haven't kicked off yet.
Spain.
They're down 7-0. Polian screwed it up. He's still dancing on the 50.
30 seconds late.
I mean,
between that and the Jarrett Lee Georgia game where you couldn't get in your seat first play of the game, pick six. So you're just like, all right.
This gonna be a long day, fellas.
I understood that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a true freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it's terrifying.
What do you want from him?
Not that, but it might happen.
But the first play of Tennessee game that's an all-time
that's an all-time. That's a Polian special.
Yeah.
Dude.
Such a pretty day.
It was beautiful.
It was a beautiful day.
It was a beautiful day.
LSU was in the all whites. Ocho Cinco was on the field.
Moreover, Tennessee was in the smokes.
Yes,
it was a great uniform game.
It was awesome.
Too bad nobody saw it.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tennessee, who just took over Tiger
Polian
Stadium.
Opening play.
LSU.
He is.
I mean, like, he's dancing. Got the headset flipped up. Nobody's listening to him.
He's not plugged
you know
in.
What I mean? Like, no, I don't need. Yeah, right. Stringfellow and them probably hadn't even plugged it in. They're like, yeah, here, go dance with this one, bro.
He's the little brother you give the controller. Like, yeah,
the one that didn't work.
Yeah,
gave him a PS2 controller. I got a PS5.
I'm stoned. That's a cigarette, you dumbass. Like, I'm drunk. That's lemonade.
Oh. But that literally LSU fans did what you did because it was you couldn't take any more of it of
Polian.
that particular flavor of pain.
Blake Groupie is a Polian recruit.
Yeah, I mean, it fits the bill.
That is unreal. Like, that is Hollywood casting couldn't have worked that out any better.
Of course, it's his type of guy. It's the opposite of Jay Johnson whenever he got the LSU job. It's like, I'm not going to recruit guys that look like me.
Right.
I actually want guys that look like me.
What is this, a frat house?
What's going on here?
Would you rush these guys through here?
Oh, they were just playing baseball outside.
I mean, like, give me Hayden Travinsky.
Right.
I mean, dude looks like the guy from the Yankees on Major League.
He looks like the...
on the first one.
Yes.
I mean, like, that's what I want my baseball team looking like.
Him and Bear Jones.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Absolutely.
Give me those two every time.
Makes the women in Cleveland absolutely sick.
Wait, what?
That's the quote from what's his name?
No, I'm talking about Major League One.
Yeah, and he gets traded from the Cleveland baseball team, and then he goes to a contender, and they play again, and when they make it to the pennant,
right?
He comes up to bat. I think it's like Berkman, something like that. But he does that little shimmy, and Bob Euchre's in the booth. He goes, drives the woman in Cleveland absolutely sick.
Yeah, that's Major League 2, though.
That's 2?
Yeah, that's 2.
Okay.
That's 2.
Same guy.
That's 2. It is.
Yeah,
Jack Parkman.
No, Jack Parker is who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
it's no way that's Blake Groupie and Brian Polian.
I know. I'm looking it up.
He's too. The guy's too big.
He's too tall.
Mm-hmm. Him and Polian would literally be.
That was Jonathan Doer.
All right, I'm going to get you this name on Major League. All right, we come back. Fletcher Mackel, Fox 8 in New Orleans. We'll catch up with him. We'll ask him about the Jim Mora rant after the game that Fletcher was standing courtside for right next to Mora as that was happening. We'll also talk to him about what the hell's going on with the Saints. What's the deal with Zion?
And he is adamant that Dennis Allen is coming back.
Yes,
going through his
and
Twitter.
I'm telling you, Matt, if he's staying like that, like he knows, like it feels a lot like the House thing. It feels just like it. I mean, the Dennis Allen Matt House thing it's shocked people, but I mean, like you talk to people like Fletcher and our friends at New Orleans football who are plugged in, and people who are plugged in Baton Rouge. I mean, people are like they're coming back. We'll talk to Fletcher Mackel next year. Jordy Culotta Show.
Yeah, this is Jack Parkman.
Exactly. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bounce the bat like John Morant, you know that I'm lit. Making plays like Jack Bash, I'm never gonna sit. Had to be patient, so I waited for the situation. Now that I'm focused, I'ma take it with no hesitation.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Here you go.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us.
Get it done.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
All right, buddy. Make it a good shot.
Oh, yeah.
Sticking the roof in.
For a hole in your roof, or a whole new roof, go roof. Roof, roof, go roof.
Hey, Greg, the roof up?
Roof's up.
Roofs up.
Roofs up.
Roofs up.
Roofs up.
Roofs up. Beautiful roof every single time.
True.
Well, the Oxford Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Ochsner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Ochsner's to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Ochsner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
The hard times that I hated gave me inspiration. Look in the eyes from my kids gave me motivation. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back.
All right, welcome back here, Jordy Culotta Show. Driven and powered every single day, built by RMB Builders, and we're live here from our Click Here Digital studios. Check out Click Here Digital online at clickheredigital.com. We were thinking of Clu Haywood, the New York Yankees villain of Major League One. That's Hayden Stravinsky's twin.
Put it on the poll. I still think I'm firmly interested in the Jack Parkman.
Okay, I'm going Haywood.
I'll put it on the poll.
Last week, a great rant by former New Orleans Saints head coach Jim Mora, who is working he works the post game with our friend Fletcher Mackel over at WDSU, which is a part of the NBC affiliate over there in New Orleans. He's the sports director there, and one of our great friends, and somebody who we lean on to get the pulse of the city. And Mora hit a rant last weekend that Mackel just stepped out of the way, and it was absolute gold. We're gonna catch up with him on that. Sean Payton and Russell Wilson's relationship. What's the latest on the Saints? Mackel has been pretty steadfast that Dennis Allen is going to return. What's that mean for the future of the Saints? We'll get into all of that now as our buddy Fletcher joins us from the city here on this Thursday morning. Merry belated Christmas. Happy early New Year. Fletch, good to see you. Good morning. How are you? One second. Our fault. One plug here, then I'm going to get to you. Our audio. We should have this fixed. It's my fault. We've got Fletcher Mackel from WDSU, the sports director, NBC NOLA. As we said, we got a lot to get to him about, including where the Saints stand on this offseason and what's going on with the latest with the Saints and the Pelicans. So we will get to that with Fletcher. Jaden Daniels is a name that keeps popping up as a possibility for the New Orleans Saints in their draft pick. We'll ask Fletcher what he thinks about that as our crew gets us all ready to roll back there. Fletcher, give me 1 second. Give me about 30 seconds, and we'll be right back here and have him ready to go. Take a break, Stewie.
I'm on my grind, bullshit. Can't fit on my schedule. I'ma do what's best for me. You can keep all your lectures. Spend the summer stacking bread, might be gone to November. Pulling up like Trey.
Finishing us! Finishing us! Let's be special! Let's be strong! Let's smell greatness from the top! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay, Gordon, ready to talk a little bit about yourself today? Okay, good. Tell us, who is Gordon McCurdy?
Great question. In a lot of ways, I'm just like most people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I am a brother. I'm a Christian. I am a Tigers fan. I am a Louisiana sportsman. But above all, I am grateful to the people of Louisiana. We want to be your lawyers for life.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon
Football is Joe Burrow.
Just to freeze up December. I got niggas on the blood like traditional sinners. OGs love me, so I hang with traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge up. Had to
ready, check it.
business, I'm coming back smarter. Hit up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing.
All right, welcome back. Jordy Culotta Show live here on this Thursday as we get rolling. Fletcher, sorry about that. We'll welcome you back into the conversation. It's good to see you, my friend. Merry Christmas. Happy early New Year. We saw the rant last weekend with Mora. It was fantastic. In true journalism, professionalism, you knew the moment was gold. You stepped out of the way and let Mora be Mora. I thought that he was echoing the sentiment of a lot of people. Look, I don't know if necessarily people agree with him, but you just sense everybody's very frustrated right now with the Saints.
Yeah, and just to kind of set it up, so what I asked him, we do a lot of pregame and postgame coverage with Jim Mora and Lance Moore, and one of our producers sent me the tweet that Morton Anderson, who's only the second kicker in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, sent out, and obviously synonymous with Saints greatness, the Great Dane, one of the 6 guys in the Saints Ring of Honor. Morton sent out a tweet saying Saints fans deserve better than this. So I just asked Jim what he thought, because he and Morton are good friends. They're still very close. And he just kind of went off. And he did not agree with Morton's assessment. So Jim is the old school coach. He's still the defender of kind of the shield, so to say. And that's why it's always good to have Lance Moore there, because Lance is very much about player empowerment and maybe a little bit more in tune with the fans. So their perspectives are great. There is a moment when you may have seen me flinch, because through the years, Jim Mora has been with us for 14 years, and we've had 2 moments where the world of podcasts and new media has changed things, but still on like live affiliated local television, you can't curse. And I thought he was going to curse again, and so I kind of flinched and went to go throw myself on the mic, which would do no good after the fact. But nonetheless, one of my former colleagues noticed that I kind of flinched when I thought he was going to curse. And he said baloney instead of something else. So thankfully, no FCC fine this year.
Diddly poo. I was waiting for a drop there from Mora. But Fletch, to the Saints, there was frustration around the defense here in Baton Rouge this season. I mean, people saw a product that could win, but there was something internally that was keeping them from getting there. What is the issue? And I've been to a couple of games, but to 2 games this year, and you can feel it in the crowd. It's very tense. It's very thick in the crowd of people. Just the trust is breaking, it feels like.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. I would say the foundation of what they built over 15 years since Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was 18 years ago, but kind of that 15 years of Sean Payton and Drew Brees, the foundation of success and kind of being one of the upper echelon teams in the NFL, that foundation is cracking. Certainly the offense is broken. I mean, broken. Like, Pete Carmichael will not be back. Even if they somehow snuck into the playoffs, I think there's going to be a major overhaul on the offensive side of the ball. And I go back to 2008. In 2008, Drew Brees was the first quarterback since Dan Marino to throw for 5,000 yards. The offense was fine. The Saints defense was broken. They fired Gary Gibbs and 5 or 6 coaches. They brought in Greg Williams, and it led to a lot of success. I still think Dennis Allen is, people don't want to hear that. I still think he's probably going to survive for another year. There's nothing they can do with Derek Carr unless they draft a quarterback. So I think overhauling the offense, Pete retiring or being pushed out, Doug Marrone will be gone, Kobe Burns, the wide receivers coach, will be gone. They'll overhaul the offensive staff. I think that's where things will probably start. But I think it goes deeper than just the offense. because I think something else that people don't talk enough about. It's easy to point the finger at Carr and the offense. It's been broken all season. People here know what great offense looks like after Breeze and Peyton, and this ain't it by a long shot.
Right.
But the other thing I would say is they overestimated this team staying in its prime because it's gotten old. Yeah. I love Cam Jordan, but Cam looks old. DeMario looks old. The Honey Badger looks old. This looks like a team that is no longer in its prime, top to bottom, that is now old. Ryan Ramczyk looks old. I mean, they just, Alvin Kamara's starting to look a little old. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that they thought Derek Carr is going to tie it together. We've got a veteran team, guys in their prime. I think, unfortunately for them, too many of these veteran guys are now moving out of their prime, and they overestimated what that window of prime was.
Fletcher, what about the structure? When you talk about an overhaul here and you talk about an overhaul within an NFL franchise, I mean, some people start like president of ops, general manager, all that kind of is underneath that. Sometimes the head coach just kind of gets caught up in it. From the Saints standpoint, the structure seems so tied at the top with Gale and Mickey Loomis and Dennis Lauscha and even Greg Benzel in there. How much turnover can really happen to get a fresh start in this franchise if they really wanted to, let's say, blow it up?
Yeah, that's not really, unless they do it themselves, that is not really an option, because three of the people you just mentioned are very tied to Gail Benson. Look, Gail Benson inherited the two franchises from her late husband. Gail Benson is a wonderful human being and a great New Orleanian. No one's ever going to say that. But is she the owner that's going to go in there pounding the table saying, I want change, like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired? I don't think that's going to happen. Her decision-making is very much tied to the three people you mentioned, and specifically Dennis Lauscha and Mickey Loomis. Now, could Mickey Loomis, who's in his 60s now, say he wants to move into an advisory type role or a secondary type role where he still helps Gail and Dennis with a lot of the big ticket decision making, but they pick someone else to come in and run the day-to-day, maybe a fresh perspective on the Saints organization? That could happen, but I can assure you Gail is not going in and telling Mickey Loomis and Dennis Lauscha, who are her two top lieutenants, guys, guess what? You predate me, and you have been my most trusted advisors. I'm done with you all. That's it. Again, whatever people think of that, that is not an option that is on the table. So unless Mickey Loomis decides to retire and or move himself into a secondary advisory capacity, that is not something that the owner is going to walk in there in a week and a half and just kind of clean house.
The emotional pick seems to be Jaden Daniels. When you hear and talk to people down in New Orleans, they all want a quarterback. They want Daniels. Is he the sensible pick or is he the emotional pick?
Look, I would say both. I just don't know if he's the realistic pick, because right. I'll always say this about the New Orleans Saints. I had this argument on Christmas Eve with someone. Somebody's like, the Saints are terrible. And I'm like, the Saints aren't terrible. The Saints are never going to be terrible. Here's the thing. Mickey Loomis, Jeff Ireland, Kai Harley, Dennis Allen, they are not terrible. They will never be 3-14. They will never be 2-15. They will never be 4-13. Right. Never. They will never be that bad. There's too many smart people, good coaches in that organization. The low water mark was probably last year, 7-10. They're probably going to go 8-9 this year, maybe 9-8. Jaden Daniels is going. I mean, look, Washington needs a quarterback. The Giants could use a quarterback. Vegas probably needs a quarterback, although Vegas has won some games. Atlanta probably needs a quarterback. Certainly probably the Bears, depending on what they do, maybe the Cardinals. I don't see how Jaden Daniels, where the Saints could be picking at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I don't know if that's realistic unless they made a move up to go get, which they could certainly do. But based on where they're picking, Jaden Daniels, to me, is the emotional pick for Louisiana, and he's the sensible pick because Derek Carr is not the guy. So drafting a young quarterback and putting that player in the competition with Derek Carr, or even if Derek Carr is the guy to start the season, you have the fallback if it goes sideways, so to say. The only problem I would say is realistically, depending on where they are picking, they are probably going to have to go up if they want Jaden Daniels, because I don't see how he gets past pick 5 or 6.
What do you make of the Pelicans in the first 30 games of the season?
I would say, if you enjoyed the roller coaster ride that the Saints took you on this year, you are probably in for something similar with the New Orleans Pelicans. The dips and the dives that make you want to throw up at times, but also kind of throw your hands up and scream for joy. There's talent there. I mean, look, 9 of their 14 losses, they have blown double-digit leads. They are 0-6 in games decided by 3 or fewer points. I see greatness. I see a team that could be 2 or 3 in the West, but I also see an inconsistent, awful end-of-game unit that could be a play-in team. So, again, the Saints have greatness in that locker room. I look at them on paper and say they could easily be the Detroit Lions this year. They could easily be the division champs, but they're not going to the playoffs in all likelihood. I look at the Pelicans and say, I see a team that at their best, Brandon Ingram is Kevin Durant-like. Zion is a honing missile to the rim. CJ is a fantastic, high IQ third star. Trey Murphy is one of the best up-and-coming young players and most interesting in the league. And they could be really good. But unfortunately, they have been consistently inconsistent, just like the Saints. So if you liked fall sports in New Orleans, odds are you are going to like winter and spring sports because the themes are the same. And if you didn't like that, I'm sorry, but unfortunately, that is the ride we are all on right now.
Sweet. Fletch, what did you make of Russell Wilson and Sean Payton's relationship breaking down here in year 1?
I mean, look, I'll say this. The one thing about Sean Payton is he is a decisive, impulsive person, and he makes the move, and he does not look back. I was hoping that Sean could turn Russell around and that they would have more success, because I like Russell Wilson a lot, and I like Sean Payton a lot. But look, they paid Sean Payton a lot of money. That's not his guy. Russell Wilson came with a different leadership, a different coach. I'm just curious to see what they do, because this is unprecedented in league history. They are going to take massive cap hits that are going to hamper them for years to come as far as building a roster out. So I'm curious, not that the relationship is over, but who's Denver's quarterback next year? Because it can't be Jarrett Stidham and they try to sell that as like, we're going to win. I'm curious to see if they draft a quarterback, what they do to get something competitive at that position.
Fletcher, it's Sean Payton. He's going to trade up in the draft. This is SeanPayton.com.
Look, they could. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a player that they like that they go up for. I mean, the one thing about Payton and Loomis, that they always traded up in the first round of the draft. I don't think Payton's going to be any different. I think he'll be heavy-handed he works with management, but he'll be heavy-handed expressing his opinion. But again, look, the dead money cap hits are going to affect them, with how they handle the Russell Wilson situation. And I just, look, maybe he trades for Taysom Hill, and that's his guy. And it's kind of like Dennis and Carr in New Orleans. It's Sean and Taysom in Denver for a year. I say that half jokingly, mostly joking, but who knows? But sure, I would say that there's an option for Denver to land a quarterback in the draft. Maybe that's where Jaden Daniels lands. Maybe they trade up, and that's Sean's guy.
NBC NOLA, WDSU, he's a sports director over there. Fletcher Mackel is a great New Orleanian who has insider information on Saints, Pelicans, and we appreciate him sharing it here this morning. Make sure and follow him on social media at Fletcher WDSU. Happy New Year, pal. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Ray. I appreciate it.
All right, man. There he is. Fletcher checking in from down in New Orleans. You hear it. It is you're stuck in purgatory there with both the Saints and the Pelicans here, both in the fall and the winter. So buckle up, South Louisiana sports fans, as it'll be a hell of a ride here until about April. Hughes Mechanical Contractors. Remember, Hughes Mechanical Contractors, located in Zachary, headquartered in Zachary's, but offices in Covington as well, can help you along the whole I-10 South corridor if you want any help with HVAC services, both residential and commercial. Get in touch with Hughes Mechanical today. They are a trusted Daikin dealer. You can find them online at hughesmechanical.net. That is hughesmechanical.net for more information. We'll be back, close out the show here on this Thursday. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We'll be back. More of the show right after this.
Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man. Shout out to Nip.
If you're in the market for a mortgage lender, you need to start with Doug Bickley and his team. Bickley has built a crew with over 50 years of combined lending experience. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they love helping their clients achieve the American dream of home ownership. They're also key with working in real estate agents and helping their clients getting same-day pre-approval. They average about one buyer a day getting them in a home. If you want to get in touch with Doug and his crew, it's easy. Call them 225-214-5154. 225-214-5154. Go see the Bickley team today. They're located on the corner of Coursey Boulevard and Sherwood Forest right here in Baton Rouge.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on. Did you do it? Hold on. Did you do it?
Roof's up.
Hold on.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Head health is incredibly important for our student athletes. One of the best ways we're trying to address concussions is on the front end. We're trying to prevent these before they happen. And a big part of that is speaking to the athletes, letting them know what to expect. Okay, speaking to the parents, what to look out for, talking to the coaches so they know the vital importance. Some of the big things we're looking for with a concussion, which is, a traumatic brain injury, is one, was there a mechanism? Was there an injury that took place that could lead to this? Often a direct blow to the head, a head-to-head hit. If someone's showing signs of concussion, our first step is always to remove them from activity, get them to a place where there's less stimuli, where we can really just sit down and get a feel for the athlete, what they're feeling. We're looking for headache, we're looking for dizziness, any sign that coordination is off, that something's just not right. Get a good evaluation of them to understand what's going on. It's not worth the risk that may be there to kind of ignore it, because there are very serious consequences if we don't treat a concussion properly.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Daniel Newman can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started today by calling Daniel Newman at 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Let's be special. Let's be strong. Let's spell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, Gordon, ready to talk a little bit about yourself today? Okay, good. Tell us, who is Gordon McCurdy?
Great question. In a lot of ways, I'm just like most people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I am a brother. I'm a Christian. I am a Tigers fan. I am a Louisiana sportsman. But above all, I am grateful to the people of Louisiana. We want to be your lawyers for life.
Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. Corrects done. Personal injury done. Workers' comp done. Truck wrecks done. Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done.
Offensive player of the game from LSU, Joe Burrow.
Football is life. Football is Joe Burrow.
They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip. Circumstances start to change and they jumping the ship. Only ones that really matter who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side cause they thought you would quit. May bend but never break, your cloth is legit. When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bounce the bat like John Morant, you know that I'm lit. Making plays like Jack Bash, I'm never gonna sit. Had to be patient, so I waited for the situation. Now that I'm focused, I'ma take it with no hesitation. The hard times that I hated gave me inspiration. Look in the eyes from my kids gave me motivation. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up.
All right, welcome back. Jordy Culotta Show, as always, brought to you by our friends right here at Click Here Digital. Love our friends at Click Here Digital. Remember, helping you with your digital marketing plans. If you need a direct contact, you can email me, Jordy at clickheredigital.com. It's really easy. We move the bottom line for you. If you need the phone to ring, we make the phone ring. If you need web traffic, we drive people to your website. If you need foot traffic, we make the door open for you. All of that, you can learn more online at clickheredigital.com. Really, once you get to the website, you get a clear understanding of who we are, what we do, how we can help. If you need more information and you want a direct contact, just hit me immediately. Jordy at clickheredigital.com, Jordy at clickheredigital.com to get directly in touch with me, and we can help you out with your digital marketing plan. Automotive space, legal space, medical space, construction. We've got experience in all of it. So let us help you out. Google ads, social media ads, help you with your content creation, whatever you're needing direction with your digital marketing plans. Let us help over at Click Here Digital. All right, we were talking a little bit about this Russell Wilson, Sean Payton situation, and it's obvious that Payton just has no love for Russell Wilson. Because, I mean, as you know, the quarterback position goes, very difficult. I mean, I would say it's without question the most difficult position in sports. And you know, from just an evaluation standpoint, it's not like Russell Wilson has played horrific. Like, he's not been vintage Russell Wilson. He's not, you know, the guy that is MVP type candidate. But from the numbers standpoint, I mean, it's not like you can't win with this guy. Right? And it's obvious that Payton is just over him. Like, I mean, like, he's done with him. I mean, to see some of the tongue lashings that this guy has given a multi-year, a multi-time
Pro Bowler,
Super Bowl winner,
appearer,
MVP candidate, Pro Bowler, I mean, like, has to be humbling for Russell Wilson. I mean, like, either way. I was watching Mic'd Up. They had Russell Wilson mic'd up last week. And
how'd that go?
Like, I'm not the biggest Russell Wilson fan.
No.
At all. Like, to me, Russell Wilson has smelt fake since the first time you've seen him, right? And I will say, like, you could tell in watching him in the mic'd up, like, he's much more humbled in Denver. You know, like, he's not he still has the tendencies. You can hear it. But you can tell, like, this whole process is like, put some humility in his life.
Well, I think he's always been humble. That's not the problem. I think it's the route he chooses to use and speak up and use his voice, and how it's the corniest leader of all time. That's what I get from him. It's like every time he talks, he doesn't really have like, he thinks that this is motivating, but they're all like quotes from a movie. Like it feels like it's scripted. Nothing feels real with Russell Wilson. I don't think he's like cocky. I think he's trying to motivate and like bring the.
It's just all fabricated.
It's so fake. And the one person that I would imagine would not jive with this, with whatever Russell's act is, you know, Sean Payton is as real as they come. And like if you're doing this, like I'm watching a mic'd up right now. This is him in the huddle. Clear heart, clear minds, one play at a time. Lock it in. Let's do this thing together. Whatever it takes. Great language. Unwavering language. Unwavering belief. Like, what the fuck are you even saying? And like that's such a. He's like a pastor. Like I need a quarterback. like I feel like Derek Carr is the same way. Where it's like
got Joel Osteen and T.D. Jakes in the league.
That's what are you talking about, dude? Call the play. Like we're in the huddle.
Guy's handing out some false positivity. Who the fuck you think he is, Joel Osteen?
This is like a pamphlet.
Then you get in the media. We need to clean this up. We need to clean that up.
You want to clean stuff up so much? Go get a fucking job at a car wash, huh?
And I mean, this is the same guy. Whenever he sent a.
And where the fuck did Money Mickey find Blake Groupie? The North Pole?
Russell Wilson's Valentine's post to Sierra is the first thing that comes up on a Google search history when you look for Valentine's quotes. Like, this is what this man's
there's your
doing.
Quarterback, man.
That's your guy. He's like, I'll just get one off the internet.
Peyton he's not doing that, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
how much to walk? $38 million? Is that what they're paying him? $38 million to get the hell out of here.
Okay, so a pre-March 17th release for Russell Wilson would mean $85 million of dead cap money and $39 million in cash in 2024. If you designate a post-June 1, that means a post-June 1 release means a $35.4 million hit in 2024, $39 million in cash, and a $49.6 dead cap hit for 2025.
Whew.
I don't even know what any of that means, but it's
that
not
sounds
good.
a lot.
Sounds like a lot of money that they don't have.
Because nobody's going to trade for him.
No.
Nobody's taking this contract on.
It's going to be like somebody's going to pick him up and maybe sign him to a contract, but it won't be.
But they'll still, the Broncos are still going to have to pay him, so you can get him for cheap.
Well, there is what he's trying to. This is
I'm out of my depth in contract stuff.
The way I understand it is what he's trying to prohibit is him getting hurt and having to
pay him that extra,
like keep him on the roster
for an extended
year where you'd owe him another. I think if you cut him right now, you owe him $37 million. If he gets to a point where he'd have to stay on the roster for a second year, you'd have to pay him an additional $39 million. So either way, he's got you bent over.
Yeah.
Like
that's why you sit him out.
You're in trouble. Like you sit him out now.
Yeah.
So he has no risk of hitting this threshold that would put him on the roster. Like you want to make sure that he's healthy, and you just cut him.
Yeah.
And you're just like, here's $37 million, brother.
Yeah.
Get out.
Not to do your job.
Because the Schefter tweet did say, like, if he doesn't pass the physical, he gets the $39 million.
Exactly.
So meaning if he's hurt.
So if he's hurt or if he doesn't,
here you go.
So I guess you just put him in a bubble.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He ain't playing football.
Exactly. I mean, you're just saying like
go train with Team 3 or whatever. Yeah.
Of you getting hurt.
And
we hate you so much. Like you are probably our best option to win, but
we don't care.
Get the hell out of here.
That's the other thing is that his numbers aren't bad. He just threw for 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
He will finish the season with a stat line of 3,070 yards, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 66.4 completion percentage, and 98 passer rating.
Let's look at Derek Carr's numbers.
Should be able to win with that.
And
right?
I mean, his numbers are better than Lamar Jackson's numbers right now.
Derek Carr has 19 touchdowns and 8 picks and 3,400 yards. Like, cut him.
Jeez. Crawl on glass for Russell Wilson right
goodness.
now.
I don't know. They need to go hang out.
Walk over fire for Russ.
Like hot glass.
What's his name? Mr. What?
Mr.
Unlimited.
Mr.
Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
Jeez, dude.
I mean, this all started
a lot of the stuff he puts
This
out.
started last year when he showed up to camp in his own jersey.
Yes.
Own jersey, had an office upstairs with he has an office
in the Broncos
facility.
Multiple.
In his contract. Like, that was one of those things that, if you remember when Peyton got the job.
Yeah, he was
when Sean Payton got the job, he walked into the locker room, and the left tackle at the time had a recliner in front of his locker. And Sean Payton had the guys, he was like, get that recliner out of here. And one of the guys was like, oh, so-and-so is going to lose his mind. I'm trying to think, who was the left tackle at the time? It was
Wayne Gandy.
Wayne Gandy had a recliner, and Gandy was like the grandfather of the team. He was like the old man of the team.
The OG.
Yeah, and somebody was like, whoa, bro, we can't do that.
Gandy
He's
is
going to
gonna
lose his
freak.
mind. He was like, sweet, Gandy's cut. Get his shit, get it out of here. I think the first thing he did with Russell Wilson was walk upstairs and was like, yeah, man, this is a staffer's office now. Pack your shit. You know what I mean?
He had his whole team 3, they had offices in the building too, where it was this is Russell Wilson's team of people, and they had full reign of the building. And Sean Payton said in his first press conference, he's like, whatever Russell is with these people that don't work for the team that are in the building, that's over.
Yeah.
And so it started off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, remember
from jump.
somebody from Denver asked him about it.
And he was like, what?
He's like, I wasn't aware of any of that, and that will no longer happen.
It's
like, if you don't have anything directly dealing with the franchise, you're not allowed in the building.
But yes. I mean, who was the coach for him last year? That's
Hackett.
Yeah, it's Rodgers' guy, right?
Yeah, right.
And Hackett was probably I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then Sean Payton,
right.
get out.
This Super Bowl ring tells you what to do.
Exactly.
Pack your stuff and get out.
This is how you run a team.
That's what he blamed everything on Hackett. I mean, he was like, that was the worst coaching job. Whatever happened here last year is the worst I've ever seen.
I don't know what they were doing on offense.
I mean,
but this goes to show this is Sean Payton.
Yeah.
You have a quarterback that has 28 touchdowns and 6 interceptions and started for over 3,000 yards, and you're like, I just don't really like the guy.
I just don't really like him.
It's got to be a locker room thing where it's every day. You can't get that kind of, because from what I remember at Sean Payton's tenure in New Orleans, it felt like the locker room was pretty tight knit.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it got a little dicey with I guess Michael Thomas, but when Sean Payton,
that's where it went south.
Yes, but whatever it was, things were good. Sean Payton, the chemistry on the Saints was as good as anybody in the NFL. If he doesn't like the way Russell leads, then you got to go. Same thing with Derek Carr. I think that you got because if you're infighting on the field and people are openly coming at you with no remorse, they don't care that they're being seen. They don't like you, Derek Carr.
Right.
The team don't like you.
Right.
And
his Christmas present said he knew it.
Yes.
To me, when I saw he got everybody Rolexes and did you see his Christmas presents?
He got got the offensive line grills with steaks.
He got offensive line, he spent.
We just got the money.
Right. I mean,
the money ain't,
But he was walking in the hated dude with all the best presents.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, he gave away some Rolex watches and chains. Yeah, I mean, and then the offensive linemen were taken care of as well, gifting them with grills and chestfuls of steaks. So he don't like his offensive line very much because a Rolex is crazy.
Crazy.
What did he get? The receivers a Rolex?
Yeah, he got Chris Olave a Rolex, and Michael Thomas a Rolex, and Rashid Shaheed a Rolex.
But he got the lineman a grill with some steaks.
Yeah, so I'd be pissed.
Yeah, could have got us
one
one
too,
too, Derek.
If you buy one roller, you got to buy 10.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to say it was Josh Allen bought the whole team bikes.
Yeah, then they got him
a 4-wheeler.
And they
he got the whole offensive lineman 4-wheelers.
And they got him one. I don't know what he got though, but he was riding around in practice. That's how your team's supposed to look.
Yeah.
That's camaraderie. Not you get a Rolex, you get a chain, you get a steak.
Yeah. Steak with a Walmart grill.
Kind of, yeah.
You got to put that grill together,
Derek,
too.
You don't think I have a grill?
Sweet, bro.
I'm in the NFL, too.
What are you going to do with this?
Exactly. Fucking throw it out. Well,
hey, we got a new grill.
That sounds like more work than a gift. I got to go put this in my truck and get it to the house.
Right.
Build it.
Can you have it dropped off to my house?
No, put it in the locker room. Like, what a mess.
Wayne Gandy it.
Yes, that guy's an idiot, dude. So tired of Derek Carr, and I would tell him to his face. Just, what a all-time just butcher.
What do you think that caller would say to Derek Carr if he saw him like
in Rouse's?
In the street? Right, like in Rouse's, like,
oh my,
just
hey,
like,
Derek, come here.
Oh, what you?
What the fuck are you talking about after the games?
Hey, hit me, I'm open.
Hey,
Get
look,
can.
it's Joel Osteen.
Passing out pamphlets for everybody.
How much money you need from us, Derek?
God.
You done robbed the Saints franchise blind?
That shit was so funny. You already took the Saints for $100 million.
I mean, how good is that?
And
that is.
It is. I'm telling you,
that's the best call ever.
Ever.
Like
it is
because he was straight to the point. His punchlines were.
I apologize about the profanity.
God bless.
It was, and it's so authentically New Orleans. Like, if people don't know what New Orleans sounds like, there you go.
He's like, who that?
Who that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Who that?
Merry Christmas.
Like, you gonna hit me with the God bless?
Yeah.
She's like, I know.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of love there.
Who that?
I'm passionate. But that's what's crazy about sports, because there's no other thing that could work you up like that, and then he's gonna be Sunday. He's gonna be right back in there.
Oh, he'll be there.
I mean,
in a
Breeze jersey.
Yeah, he's gonna be in a Wayne Gandy jersey. Like, he's got the old one.
That's right. a deuce jersey.
Michael Lewis.
A Reuben Mays jersey.
Like, sports fandom will make you do some things and say some things that you like won't ever you won't ever say that like in a normal conversation with anybody. But
no way.
Or act like you like the people that get filmed. You know, like watching a game and crowd,
God.
fan reactions of just like watching the TV. It's like, brother, this isn't.
You can't control anything.
Whatever happens is about to happen. Like, you standing right there, it's not gonna make no difference.
Trying to blow the kick.
Yeah, but I love because I'll do superstitious things all the time when I'm watching a game. But I've also lost the anger. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
That went away a long time ago. There's still some people that I know, and very dear friends of mine, that still carry that hate in their heart for when things go south. And it's just, I can't.
It's been a couple times this season where I lost my cool. Like the Ole Miss game, I lost my cool a couple times. But that was just, I mean, you sit there
I'll
and watch.
say things.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's no punching the TV, no holes in the wall.
No.
But there's a whole bunch of, what are they, what
are we watching?
What are we watching here?
Like,
what's the plan? Whole lot of that. But the visceral anger is gone.
You know what I've been binging is the SEC history series on the SEC network, where it shows football in decades, and it's like, you know, like it goes back to the like early times, like 60s, 70s, like Archie Manning days, goes through the 70s, the 80s, then it kind of takes you through like the television contract of CBS, you know, kind of how it exploded. And I mean, it's a phenomenal series if you've never watched it. It's been a great, just kind of like holiday, keep it on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they were running, I just would record them. Right, I may not be paying attention to them directly as they're running, but then I would like go back when my sleep schedule's all screwed up, waking up at like 2 a.m. I'll binge these things out, man. And going back to the, you know, like the time of 2000 is fantastic if you want to go back, because it takes you, and really what makes it to me is and I watched all of them because I learned more about the other programs in the league by watching. I mean, there's some things that the Tebow stuff and the Lou Holtz stuff at South Carolina. I mean, there's some stuff that you kind of like fast forward to.
Lou Holtz.
Right? No, Lou Holtz, dude.
You came
it
for
is so funny. And
Lou
I mean,
Holtz.
like his after
Sylvester
the
Groom.
invitations.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's tough to. It's like it's Skip Bertman.
Yeah, like he's
I mean, it's like knowing, like when you hear Skip talk, like everything could be imitated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everything could be impersonated. And when you have like Rants who can just do Skip better than Skip does Skip.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, like it's just like you almost laugh at every single thing he says,
really
and they're not even trying to be funny. I mean, like
The
it got to a point when Skip was in the studio for the last 3 months he was doing the show over there. When he'd walk in and just like see you, You're like, ooh, the steps still got coach. You know, like that's content. It's gold
for the baseball championship thing. Me and Ron were literally just watching Skip the whole time because it just Skip. Like,
it's unreal. It is unreal. And like his old players would like Terrio used to be like, Coach, everything he says is funny.
Yeah,
and you're like,
but he
really?
Could be
and he's like, but you have to like know how to get it, you know. And you're like, and once you cross over, and you're like, everything's funny. Yeah. Like it's so much cooler over here.
A joke,
like,
but he's telling a story.
Like I mean, like ooh, you know, like,
see the bent nickel.
Just everything. Holtz has now entered that for me. Like everything he says, and going back and watching him on like this SE, even like his time in South Carolina, you're like, this is comedy. This is comedy. This is gold. But like I will tell you, like the Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker days of the SEC is a time that I missed. Like I probably became a football fan like in '87 is like the first year I remember. And those teams for me are like the 61 Army teams for Belichick. Like when Belichick was on game day talking about the 61 Army team, Coach, I mean, like he's talking about the running backs, the left guard, the defensive tackle, the backup cornerback who made a play in week 4. I could do that like on the 87, 88, 89, LSU, 88, 89, kind of switched to basketball with Shaq and Chris Jackson. But like those days are like obsessive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like try to get something past me. You know what I mean? Like I want you to.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been around and seen up close the Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker days of the SEC because I probably got my passion, love, obsession from sports from my uncle. I have an uncle, Mark Culotta. He's a local landscaper, but he is a sports fanatic. In fact, he hosted a sports radio and TV show for like 15 years. Nobody watched it. Nobody listened to it. But I mean, he just loved it. He was passionate about it.
Yeah, don't care. I'm doing it anyway.
Exactly. And he was the one that would tell me about like Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker. And obviously you would see, like when I became a fan, like I would see these guys as like a Cowboy and a Raider, like a Kansas City Royal or a Minnesota Viking. But like watching these two dudes in college and even more like the high school film that this series has of them. I had no idea what Herschel Walker looked like in high school.
Yeah, I mean.
And Coach, it is the definition of men versus boys.
Does he have a 30 for 30?
He has an SEC story.
Yeah, I watched his SEC story, then I watched Bo Jackson's 30 for 30. So that's how I know about Bo Jackson. I think Bo Jackson's the best athlete of all time.
I don't know how you would argue that. I don't know how you could argue that somebody is better than him.
Yeah.
I mean, there may be an athlete that is as good as him. Deion Sanders may be as good of an athlete, but a different type of athlete. Bo and Herschel Walker were so naturally bigger, stronger, faster than everybody.
And then you put him on a baseball field. Like Bo Jackson, like
Herschel Walker on a track.
Yeah, and it's just like
there is shots of Herschel Walker running the 100
in the track uniform next
of
to
him
everybody else.
Running directly at you.
Yeah,
I could not imagine what that would be like for a linebacker, a safety, where you're just like,
put him on the hood.
Like, oh shit,
he got a running start.
That's the old shit.
Right at me,
and he's not trying to make me miss.
Are his legs that big?
He's running me over. Like he's looking to run me over. He's not trying to run away from me.
But their Georgia, I mean, I didn't know Herschel Walker's first Georgia run in 1980. They put him in the game on the road at Tennessee in his first game as a true freshman. And it was like one of these games where they had upperclassmen backs. They start the upperclassmen, first 2.5 quarters. They can't do anything. They can't move the ball at all. They put Herschel in the game. They go right down the field. They go right down the field. They put Herschel in the game on like the 10-yard line for his first carry. Remember Bill Bates, the special teams guy for the Cowboys, the early 90s team? He was the guy like wears mouthpiece on his chin strap. He's like this guy that would run down on every kickoff, and he was like a kamikaze.
Yeah.
He'd go down there, he's going to knock your head off, right? Like in college, he was a standout safety at Tennessee. First carry, Herschel gets the ball. You could probably pull this all up, Stewie.
They have it, but it's like real grainy.
And he runs through him like Leonard ran through that safety at A&M.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what they compared it to.
It is exactly like that. I mean, like that first carry where Leonard, but that wasn't Leonard's first carry of his career.
Right.
This is his first carry. Could you imagine if that was his first carry of his career and he ran through the best safety in the league on the road to win a rivalry game? I mean, like,
I just saw it.
I mean, like, I got goosebumps. Like, when I saw it, I mean, and like Larry Munson, the voice of Georgia, who is like, by the way, old time broadcasters. And I'm not just like Chris Blair and those guys are fantastic. Just like you got to read live reads, you got to make sure you're hitting all. Like back in the day, they didn't have. They were just up there like smoking cigarettes, drinking whiskey, calling the game. You know what I mean? Like you can tell. Like I mean, third and fourth quarter, they're starting to slur a little bit.
I'm in the bag.
But I mean, like.
Bill Bates was an all-SEC safety.
Coach, he was the best safety in the league.
And then
it was as if like you ran over LaRon Landry.
Right.
I mean, like
that's what I'm thinking of. It's like you put it in.
He was a junior.
Bill Bates thought he was about to clean Herschel Walker up.
No doubt.
And it is the opposite.
I mean, Coach.
They were down 15.
You talked about him running track.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Ugh.
I'm not even running the race.
I mean, look how much smaller the people are. This is the run right here. Pop! Coach, he runs through. He's standing up.
They were down 15-2. They came back and won.
Won 2 touchdowns from him.
From him.
I mean,
and then
he doesn't hit the ground.
And Coach, then Bo Jackson comes along, and Bo Jackson is like Herschel Walker
again.
One more click.
Yeah.
Like it's like
he's got the track, the baseball.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, wow, look at this cat. I mean,
imagine.
And like the Bear Bryant, like the story of Bear Bryant, like Bo Jackson grows up in Alabama.
Isn't he from Auburn?
No, he's not from Auburn.
He's from like
a small little bitty like drive through. Blink your eye, you're driving through the town.
So he's from Franklin.
Exactly. He'd be what is Franklin, Louisiana. He's from in Alabama. And at this time, the Bear, I mean, like, Stewie, there's some like I almost recorded a part of it last night. Because like they interview this Alabama author, and he's like, "Life ain't been the same since Bear died." Oh God! And he's like, "Oh my God!" And it didn't have anything to do with his death. I mean, like it's just like these people, like I mean, like they have the B-roll of the Bears funeral. Like you have no idea. The whole state shuts down. Like I mean, like they're on like it's OJ. It is the OJ chase. They are on the passes on the interstate. They're hanging the blankets over. They're hanging the sheets over. Everybody's got the houndstooth on. I mean, like it is the day the Bear died is the day that Earth stopped. I mean, like people are just like
he's the
life ain't been the same.
The president died. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at the pictures. It's like the president died.
It is. It is. I mean, like it is 100% as if he died. So like this is like the end of his reign, right? So like Bear is so sick, like he can't go to Bo Jackson's house to recruit him. He sends the running backs coach. And the guy's like, "Hey, look, Bear wants me to let you know that we want you at Bama. But odds are you're probably not gonna play a meaningful down to the end of your sophomore year." And like Bo's like sitting there like thinking like, "What? Have y'all not seen me play?
Like who y'all have at running back?"
I mean, like I'm the best dude on the field every time I'm on the field. Every time I'm on the field, I'm the baddest dude there.
Never not started.
Right, like. So he's like, and Bo's like, at that point, I was not going to Bama. He was like, right then, I knew I was not going to Bama. And Pat Dye had just gotten the job at Auburn. The next day, Pat Dye comes in, and Bo says, he looks at him directly in the face and goes, "Look, Bo, I'm going to be honest with you. We ain't got a running back in sight. We're terrible at running back. I'm going to give you every opportunity to be the dude day one." He's like, I'm in. And the next thing you know, like they hadn't beaten Alabama in 8 years. Like the Bear had like made them. Like, it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter. And Bo's sophomore year is the Bo over the top. Mm-hmm. And that is like the last Auburn-Alabama game the Bear is in. And, I mean, it's just a great history of the league. It's a great story around programs. I mean, you don't have to get – I'm sure a lot of you have seen it because it's been out for a while. But it's just a kind of a great little lesson and learning on the SEC and just how big and how fast it happened. I know like the SEC's been around forever, but once it hit the mainstream and once the television contract came through with with CBS and the way all that stuff worked out, it was a very kind of right place, right time for the league. CBS had just lost the NFL contract to Fox, so they were looking for something that they needed to kind of like, what's our brand going to be now? Like if we're out of football, what are we going to do on Sunday? Like if we're out on Sundays, what are we going to do for football? And the guy was like, maybe we should try like college football. And he was like, doing what? Like, who cares about that? So, like, dude, they're crazy about football in the South.
They are.
Yeah,
the day the bear died.
And next thing you know, you're on SEC campuses, and they rattle off 8 straight national championships.
Still doing it. I think it's getting to the point, right, where college football, you could argue, is the second most popular sport in America.
I don't think it's arguable.
Yeah, it's not even.
What would you argue it with?
Maybe NBA.
Yeah, but did you see what the NFL did to the NBA on Christmas Day?
Yeah.
And the NBA used to own
and
Christmas Day.
And
that was their coming out party.
And the NBA has I want to say the NBA has 50 million followers on Twitter or X, and NFL has 6 million, something like that. And somebody was just like, this is to show you social media isn't real. People watch these games. People don't care about what the social media following is. They care about what's actually going on TV.
The NBA puts so much more of their stock into social media.
Yeah.
They put a lot of content out there, so that's why there's so much discourse on Twitter or X or what have you about the NBA, because there's always content coming out. The NFL is much more guarded in what they put out in terms of highlights and stuff. They want you to go to
NFL.com.
NFL Network. Yeah. They want you to...
NFLfilms.com.
You get it from the plug, you're getting it from the source.
Yeah.
This ain't been stepped on. This isn't free.
I respect it.
That's what the NFL does. Major League Baseball tried to do the same thing, where they took a lot of their you couldn't post a highlight of Major League Baseball on Twitter. They would take it down if you screen recorded your own television.
Yeah.
And they kind of have leaned into it a little bit more, but the NFL owns it.
People,
hey, nothing you can do about it.
It's almost like Shohei Ohtani just started existing yesterday because he signed with the Dodgers.
Right.
Which is wild, but hey, man's been playing in LA for 3 years.
The NBA has set the market on the international game.
Yeah, for sure.
The NFL's coming for that too.
That's what they're coming for next.
Going to Brazil next year, Coach.
They're going. What are they going to be? 6 out of market games next year. 6 out of the country games.
they played. How many did they play this year?
Played at least 4.
Yeah. And they sent big brands over there. They usually send Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And they sent KC and.
The Ravens win, I think, too.
Yeah, they played big games. KC played the Dolphins over there, I think. They played big games across in Europe. So if you're looking for some programming here during the holidays, obviously it's bowl season, but the SEC Storied Series has been on, and it's been cool to learn the history of the league and learn about programs and kind of see the history. It's cool on LSU. The LSU starts around 2000 when Saban arrives and shows really kind of the rise and the dominance of that game. A heavy influence on the LSU-Florida game in 2007 with Hester and Tebow both being interviewed. It's just good behind-the-scenes stuff.
What's it called? SEC Story?
I think history of the SEC. But it's broken down in decades. It's broken down like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, the 2010s. The series wrapped in 19.
Oh, okay.
So, it's good stuff.
Saturdays in the South?
I think that is it. Yeah.
The history of SEC football?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool.
That's it.
You go check it out.
Have a great Thursday. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're not already done so.
Bring your presents back.
Appreciate you being here. Enjoy this beautiful day. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Just trying to live like Mike Gundy.
I'm a man.
Gundy's stoned.
Good Lord.
Stoned. You get that picture?
Yes.
Put it up of him.
Your medical card. Oh my God. How'd they make his head bigger?
Hey, let's run that toss dive again, huh? What do you boys think about the toss dive? Coach, I think you're stoned.
I'm sorry.
I am. Let's run it again.
All right now. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry about
Look
that.
at the eyes on this guy.
I mean, he looks like he's about to. I mean, I'm sorry for that rant, guys. I don't know what got into me. I was just so upset, but now I'm calm.
Where was their boat?
Where's my son?
They played in Texas.
They played A&M.
Oklahoma does have dispensaries though.
Oh, it's like the
Coach.
Oklahoma
Doesn't matter if they do or they don't.
I mean, he's got the.
Gundy's a lifer. He feels untouchable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like he feels.
Oklahoma is like the weed capital of America.
Watch this. I'm going to get stoned and go coach the game. No, you won't. Watch me.
Watch.
And they ain't going to do nothing about it.
And I'm going to get my boy to score a touchdown. Dad, I thought you hated me.
I mean, look at that guy.
That's unbelievable.
Have a great day. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time. It's the hottest show around, we ain't gotta flex. Call up G, we get it done, we earning our respect. Tell recruits to let us in, where they going next. Throw up the L's, now we lit, band playing neck. From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live, mic'd up for show. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a